going?
Oh, yeah, nah, pretty good.
Thinking we should chuck a podcast. What do you reckon?
Oh, yeah, nah, I can. Come round. Let's do a thing.
Hello, welcome back to What Do You Reckon? Season 2 and round 12, I reckon it is.
Yep, that's it. Mate, we've got a special guest today.
The specialist guest. Our good friend, Mr. Scott Eckel.
How you going?
How are you, bud?
We don't have
Doing great. What's that?
I don't know. We should have an applause one on there.
Oh, what are the other ones? Crickets.
No, you don't want that one. That's a good
That
one.
works.
Feels pretty.
Yeah.
We have our good friend, Scott Eckel. So what's happening?
wow.
What's happening, brother?
I don't know, mate. I sort of just got here.
Yeah. We were straight into it. As soon as you walked in the door, it's like, say good day. We're already in here.
Start chatting shit.
So, yeah.
So, Scott is known for his drumming career.
I would say you're one of the best in Australia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Big call.
Yeah. But I actually genuinely believe that.
I would agree with that. Especially in terms of like motivation and like the way you've diversified. You've done a lot of different projects over the years, and like, so we sort of knew each other from, you know, the Brizzy music days and whatnot. But it wasn't until I was singing for Traditions, you were drumming for I Am Villain,
Yep.
and you needed a bass player for it was the Heroes for Hire tour with those dudes from America that the bands.
I call fives.
I Call Fives, that's
Yeah.
it. And yeah, Lewis Usher called me and wanted me to fill in on bass, and then that's how we became mates.
Yeah. Was that before the Traditions crossover thing?
That was before I was in Take Us to Vegas. I was singing for Traditions at the time.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think I just finished playing bass for Milestones as well.
Back then, to me, that was like
That's like a good 10 years ago.
But that was like the busiest time of band scene back then, because there was just so many bands happening, so many shows.
Yeah.
It was every weekend. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, who's playing this weekend? And it'd be someone that you know.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all in our young 20s then, so.
Like, I feel like it's still the same. We're not part of it.
Yeah, we're just we're not
Yeah.
included anymore. So
Yeah.
it's actually as busy as ever, but we don't know about it because we're old and fucked.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, you're right, because we were meant to play this show. It got postponed, but I don't think we're doing it now. I don't know what's going on. But the thing was, when we got sent the list of this show, I knew no one on there. And the promoter's like getting all hyped about like, oh, we got so-and-so playing. I'm like, yeah, it sounds sick.
Who's that?
Yeah, no idea. But
Are you like up to date with like the local music scene at all?
I got no idea, man.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
Every band name sounds the same.
Yeah. Sick.
It's like AFL Leagues Club or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the new band that's kicking off.
Well, all right. So I guess like one of the things we have to address is that like you were making some moves recently in the music industry. You're spending a lot of time in LA. There were a couple of bands that you were working with. Like, do you want to just like talk about how that started? The first band that you started working with, and then because it eventually led to you like working with John Feldman and Travis Barker, which is like incredible. So like
Peaked.
Yeah. So how did that all start? Because this would have been a couple of years ago.
yeah, so but start it from when is it I Am Villain wrapped up?
Yeah, okay, that's
guess
a
that.
good point.
'Cause
So
that's
I Am
when-
Villain finished up,
Yep.
and then where did you go?
Yeah.
I think I jumped in Traditions for like
Oh, that's
the
right, you
briefest
did.
second.
Yeah,
ever.
yeah.
And then we were cracking on. I think we were about to play a show. I don't know if we did it or we didn't. And then that fizzled out.
Yeah.
And then I was sort of just not doing anything for a while. And then I got a call from the boys in the Satellites.
Yeah. Yeah.
They needed a drummer for open for Neck Deep on their first Oz tour.
Right.
Like in a week's time, they're like, "We've got a show in a week. We don't have a drummer. Can you do it?" So I was like, I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I learned all their set in probably like a couple of days. We had a rehearsal. It was all good. Played it. It was sweet. And they kind of just like, I come back a couple of times just to do fill-ins.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually it was just turned into, that was my gig then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started doing that. You know, local band stuff. You get a little bit of a roll on, and then you hit the the hurdle and all that bullshit, and then
To me, that becomes a point where your band is having fun and then it gets serious, and that's
Yeah.
where the hurdle starts.
Yeah.
Because it's like, is everyone on the same page or not?
yes,
Yeah, you suddenly have to
exactly.
make that decision to
Yeah.
push forward or just be like, yeah, this isn't working.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that started to like sort of die down a little bit as well. And then what I did, I was working casually at BWS, just not enjoying life, mate.
Yeah.
The life of retail, selling alcohol to the same people who come in every day.
Yeah.
It just drives it into you like, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
And then I got a Facebook message from a kid, and I thought it was a complete hoax.
Yeah.
It took me like 3 days to even respond to it, so I was like, sent it to a few friends. But it was from Zach Savini, who he's doing Bring Me the Horizon now. He's doing like giant bands. I think he did like a Limp Bizkit song recent. Limp Bizkit bit. Fred Durst was in their studio. He works for like the Madden Brothers.
Yeah.
That sort of area. But he started with Feldman.
Yeah.
And got this Facebook message. He's like, I work with this person. I was like, I know exactly who you work with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then looked him up, and he was working on the Blink-182 California release. I was like, oh shit.
Wow. Real
So
deal.
I quickly responded. I'm like, yeah, what's going on? I'm like super interested. Like, tell me all about it. He goes, we got 3 songs. I was like 2 or 3 songs, like sent over the demos.
Yeah.
Can you record like a little audition and send it back? And I was like, sweet. I woke up the next, like I think I got home from work or before I got to work. I quickly like learnt it, filmed. Got my brother to help me like film it. So we just did it really rough, like right there and then. I think I even missed a couple of beats because I was still like, I hadn't learned it properly.
Yeah.
Quickly got him to edit it. Like I finished, got off the drums, went straight to my job. Got him to edit the video for me.
Yeah.
And it was just like straightforward. It's just one single shot or whatever.
Yeah.
Sent it off. Woke up the next morning to a message like, when can you be in Los Angeles? I was like, I'll be there Monday.
That's so sick.
That's dope.
And then, so 3 days after that, flew to LA, straight into the studio, playing, like this was Trophy Wives at the time, which then turned into Makeout.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And started recording that album, and like on Travis's kit, the one they did the Blink album with, and the same room, and I was just like blowing my mind right now.
Wow.
So were you doing like cover videos beforehand? Like, how did they find you?
They found me from like an all-time low cover video that I did years ago, like when I was like 23 or something like that.
That's my best advice for someone who isn't playing music but wants to be in a band. It's just upload covers.
Absolutely. And I've started doing it again because like
you never know where it'll end.
That's the content that's
and you were really prolific with that as well. Like,
I mean, kind of, but I kind of just doing like a crappy job of it at the same time. I'd set up a GoPro. Yeah. And I'd just play from like start to finish, and there'd be no tricks or editing or anything like that. And it was raw drums, like not even sampled. Like everyone's putting up this like sample that sounds super crisp. I think straight that's from Pro Tools straight to the video.
Yeah, that like to me that's part of the appeal though, is like you did it raw in real time. There's no fancy tricks or editing or rah. And that's what made it so impressive. Is like, wow, this guy's crushing it and he hasn't like fucked with it, like, you know.
Yeah. Like I've sort of gotten on board with it recently just because I'm like, who cares? You're putting out visually and sonically appealing content. Yeah. That's the goal now.
But it's better than no content, isn't it?
Exactly.
And see, I noticed when I wasn't playing in a band, there was that short period, just as a joke, that I did those covers of like Australian ads.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But
I remember those.
The thing is that that's what got me, I think, like when Behind Crimson Eyes messaged me out of nowhere, because I was probably getting forgotten about as a musician, but just something that was just content reminded people like, hey, this guy's playing guitar. He's in a band. But for you as a drummer, the thing with recording drum videos, they are way more exciting to watch than a guitarist video.
Yeah.
Because there's arms going around. It's sick. No matter what. And that's why it goes back to that content, the quality of content. I don't care how good or bad it is. Seeing drums being played is way more exciting.
It's just always interesting.
Yeah.
Especially if they're played well. And like you've got quite a bit of like flair and finesse to your style as well, which makes it interesting to watch you.
I try to.
So yeah, you got like the approval.
And basically
went over to LA.
Basically, I was there and I had no idea, but that was like a trial run. Like
Yeah.
they had another drummer that was there.
Mhm.
They booted him. Oh, well, Feldman told him, it was like, pick it up or go home.
Yeah, right.
Basically. And it
Yeah.
was just, this drummer like cracked the shit, so I think he went home.
Uh,
And then they had another guy lined up, and he was like, I can't come out this weekend. Can I come out the next weekend? It was like, we've got a guy from Australia who's coming in 2 days.
A couple of days.
and knows how to drink beer.
Yeah.
So,
He basically told his boss that he's leaving for, I
yeah.
think it was a month,
Yeah, that's commitment straight
like
up.
to the day, and then just like came straight over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, so you missed out as well. But-
Wow.
And then I did it for a week, and then got the thumbs up.
Yeah.
And it's like, cool, let's do this. Like you're in now.
Yeah,
Sweet.
that's
Like-
so good.
So that was for Trophy Wives, which then got renamed Make Out.
Make out.
And then what happened with it? Because you guys released an album,
Mm-hmm.
did a couple of tours,
Yep.
some shows that played some big shows. Like it looked like it was all storming ahead, going really well.
Yeah.
And then what happened?
Oh man, great story. So we hadn't even put the album out yet, and we got offered to open for Blink on like 4 or 5 shows. So
Yeah.
we did that.
At this stage, I think everyone was getting so hyped because we were following along with the story.
Yeah.
And it was just almost like, where's Scott going next?
Yeah,
like, this
yeah.
is happening. And then I remember when, just quick, sorry to interrupt, but it's like, there was a period where I think where Travis was injured, and we're just like, Scott's going to end up in Blink too. I can see this freaking happening.
Oh man.
But yeah, no,
Could you
continue. Yeah,
imagine?
so you got the what was it, the open support?
Yeah, for Blink, and
Huge.
absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
So we did that, and then that's when we thought things were about to start rolling.
Mm.
We hadn't even put songs out yet. No one even heard of us. We're playing these songs that no one's heard to 7,000 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, cool. And they were loving it. We're like, fuck yeah, this is
all
going to be
This
good.
is us, yeah.
Then we went to the UK. We did Slam Dunk. We played a couple of shows with Goldfinger,
Yeah.
and that was fun. And then we got back from that, and I think that's when we recorded. This plays into the story where we sort of just got quiet, I guess. But
Mm.
we recorded the song Crazy, which has been our top spin on Spotify
Yeah.
like forever.
Yeah.
We had another song. It was like a joke song, and then it was this acoustic song called Secrets that we had this like rapper come in, and he was like come in as like a songwriter to help us. So we did these 3 songs with, it was us, Feldman, Little Aaron, the hip hop artist, and Travis, and we popped out these 3 songs. It was kind of a jokey, like in the studio kind of feel, and then they really wanted Secrets to come out, so we put out Crazy. That was going well. Then we put out Secrets, and then it had just not a very PC sort of
Yeah.
word, like phrasing in it for this day and age in the pop punk scene.
Okay.
Okay.
And then yeah, shit just kicked off.
Can you tell us what that was?
So that in the line of the song, there was it was about a cheating girlfriend or whatever, and it was just like a fuck you kind of song.
right.
Yeah.
And in the chorus, I can't remember the lyrics. It's been so long since I've even heard it. But
Well,
anyway,
Yeah.
long story short, he calls this cheating girl, a fucking whore.
Yeah.
Okay. And you got
End of the
cancelled.
world. Yep.
Yeah.
Immediately, and it was rough, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, this is news to me. I didn't know that.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I just thought like I was just under the impression that because of COVID, things were just going to get postponed for a bit.
Well, this
No.
is well pre-COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's late 2017
Yeah.
when it first started.
You joined another band after that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I
Yeah,
was about
this,
to say,
we're still on Make Out right
We're on a
now.
roll.
See,
Yeah,
I
wow.
thought that all came to an end because one of the singer decided he didn't want to do music anymore.
This
Or
comes. This is like a year later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So,
So
Make Out got cancelled by Twitter by the
Yep.
offended people.
Yeah.
yep.
Okay.
So that was pretty rough, man.
Yeah.
Like a lot of bands were sort of jumping on as well to just like to follow the trend of we don't
Oh.
support this.
Yeah. Kick
Yeah.
it while you're down.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
And, like whatever. Like I probably would have done the same thing.
At least
if it
you
was
got
another band, I don't know.
you got to bail back
can't
to
tell.
Australia at least.
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
The reason why they changed the name has it got anything, and you've probably been hit up a few times from this. Is it anything to do with Trophy Eyes? That's why the name changed?
I don't think so. They just wanted to change it anyway,
Oh, okay.
and it actually came from it was Barker who thought of the name. He's like, let's name it after this cool vegan restaurant in downtown LA.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Sick.
And that's where it came from.
There you go.
Like, okay, like that's going to be, I wasn't too keen on it just because, I don't know, I was
Yeah.
my mid-20s and like,
Whatever, dude.
cool, like this would be, if I was 14.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So,
But they ran with it and I was like, okay, whatever, let's go.
all right. Well, so at this stage, you'd met the big dog by then, Travis.
Yep, so I met him on the Blink tour,
Yep.
like officially, and then
So I would say he's the number one drummer idol for you.
absolutely.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, tell us what it was like meeting him for the first time.
I was kind of speechless, man. I was a little bit nervous. I was trying not to be nervous and like, you know, we're on tour with you guys. I'm not trying to be a sweater.
You don't.
Yeah.
You want to get.
Yeah.
You don't want to be in the fan zone. You want to be in the friend zone as soon
Yeah.
as possible.
But he come over, man, and he just finished sound check. And I was watching, and then he just walked up and he'd recognized me because like he followed the band on the whatever account we had, and like he'd seen my face, and he saw me, so he rolls over, he goes, "What's up, man?" And just like reached out for a fist bump, and I was like, "Oh, hey, dude." And,
Yeah.
like,
Sick.
I was like, sound sick, or I don't know. I have no idea what I said.
No, 'cause it's one of those moments.
ridiculous. Yeah.
It's like the time when Kurt explains when he met Tiger Woods.
All right.
Like he's just like, it's just an out of body experience. You don't
Yeah.
actually understand what's happening there and then in the moment.
Yeah.
You're just trying to just don't be a fucking dickhead right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that'll stick forever otherwise. Because you'll just think about that. It's like, why did I say that?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. You got through it all right.
Yeah. And then obviously we're in the studio together with John, and then
Yeah.
we're hanging out there, just like chatting.
Yeah, it's sick.
Just sitting there, just kind of going, speaking to this guy like a regular person.
Yeah. I mean, like for you, like would have been such a huge moment with like Travis Barker, your idol for so long. And like, I mean, anybody of our generation that listened to Blink would love to meet that dude. But for me, it was like the fact you got to work with John Feldman is like, that's probably the one thing from my music career that I didn't get to fulfill. Because like, anyone who's listening who doesn't know, John Feldman was the singer-songwriter for Goldfinger. So if you ever paid Tony Hawk's, you would have heard him. But also now is a songwriter, producer, engineer for a lot
So many people.
of bands. Like, I think I first got onto him being an engineer and a producer for The Used, their first self-titled.
Yeah.
And he was involved in all that. And like that record still stands up to this day. Like it's catchy, it's polished, it's well done, everything's all tied off. And like how was it working with him?
Kind of crazy. The dude's very
Like a
taskmaster.
He's crazy addicted to caffeine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right.
that's his new vice.
Yeah.
Has this giant coffee machine just built into the wall, like just outside the studio.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you leave the drum room or whatever, and then you go into this like just a chill area, and there's
Yeah.
this fucking coffee machine in the wall. You just put a cup there, press what you want.
It's not really a chill area, is it?
No.
You come there to get fired up.
Yeah. And man just sits there and just drinks coffee and eats coffee bean, like chocolate covered coffee beans, everything coffee.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's just constantly on. But yeah, it's super on you to like to work with, like, you know, you're recording and you're just like, oh, what do you want? You're like 8 count in. He's like, yep. He gives you like 4.
Yeah.
You got to start.
Do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get used to it.
Yeah.
And if you don't like that, here's 2.
Yeah. He's like, you just guess when we're coming in.
Oh man, that's cool. So his studio, is it actually in his house?
Yes.
Yeah, right.
So I did the first recording session in his older house, and then he ended up like moving out to Calabasas where Travis lives and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then turned his like 4-car garage into just the giant studio.
Wow.
So sick.
So, and I remember you put something up on Instagram that I don't know if it was Travis or John's, but you got to drive their Rolls Royce.
Travis's. I didn't drive it.
Oh, right.
He just like, because we were sitting there like chatting and we're talking about, I have no idea what we're talking about, but he started talking about cars because obviously that's his passion.
Yeah.
And then he just Travis asked him, I think, John asked him what he drove in today. He's like, I drove the Rolls in, and then like showed him the key, and he's like, go check it out. Like just gave me the key, and I stood out there. I had no idea how to unlock it.
Yeah.
How to open it. The key was the shape of the car. I'm like, what do you even do with this?
Yeah.
Whoa.
But
Open car.
yeah,
Just
I was like, No, but finally got it open, sat in there, and I was just like, this is nuts.
This is what $500,000 of car looks like.
Yeah. I wanted to start it so bad, but
Yeah.
That's so hectic.
Far out. Okay, so one thing when everyone was following on, because at this stage everyone knew Scott's over in the US. He's playing up with the big dogs. We saw that you posted this photo at it looked like a house party. It was like a
is this when I first got there?
I don't know. It was like you started. I think was Goldfinger playing in a backyard or something.
Oh yeah, so it was some event that they put on,
And
and
just had bands playing in the backyard.
yeah, set up a stage in the backyard.
Yeah, it was sick.
John was playing got the 5 Sauce Boys up there to play the Fever. Oh, well, like half the band was there or whatever when they started getting involved with what John was doing.
Yeah.
A few other people. Yeah, we got up, jammed out a song. Like
It's so sick.
it was so weird, but yeah, just a giant house party, and then like a bunch of us ended up bailing and heading into West Hollywood to go to some other party. I don't know.
Sick.
It's dangerous.
Yeah, I was gonna say, at this stage, were you just thinking like, what is even happening right now?
Pretty much, and we
Yeah.
were just like, yeah, it's very confusing. I'm
Just go with the flow.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't really know what's going on. I'm just coming along for the ride, basically.
Yeah, well, it was sick because we all were too. We're just like,
Yeah,
what's he doing
yeah.
next? This is great.
Scott's living our dreams.
Yeah.
All right. So Makeout went through those issues.
Yeah.
So you had a bit of a downturn, bit of quiet time. Is that when you came back to Oz, or were you still over in the States?
I was still like traveling back and forth.
Yeah, right.
Because I come back and work and stuff like that, and then
Yeah.
head back when I needed to. And I
Right.
think that's when we jumped on one tour. It was like February, March, and freezing cold. And we're heading through like the northern part of America, and we're going to Canada.
Is this when you were on TV? The Blizzard?
No,
Okay.
that's different. So this is when this is where a lot of my troubles originated from getting back into the US.
Okay.
So I went to Canada for a show.
Yeah.
And as we were coming back through, they pulled me up. And they're like, oh, like a band coming through, like, you're Australian, like, come chat to me. I was like, all right. So I went in thinking nothing was wrong. And they're like, you are on the wrong visa to be playing shows and be getting paid. I'm like, I'm not getting paid.
Yeah.
Like, how are you surviving? I'm like, I go home, I get my money, and I come over and I support myself to do this. And this board agent was just not having it. He's like, I don't believe you're doing this as a passion. It's like something's up. I was like,
dude, read any band biography. You have to
Trying
do
to
it
tell
for
you,
free for
yeah.
a long time.
and then they sort of like got through that loophole, and then they got the other big boss board agent to come over, and he's like, yep, these venues are taking ticket sales while you're performing in the building. I'm like, they'd be doing that anyway. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not getting paid from that.
Yeah.
Like the American band that I play for is getting paid, and it's going to their business account.
Yeah.
I'm not getting paid personally.
Mm.
They're like, not this time. Like back to Toronto. They like sent me back over to Canada. Had to get a one-way flight home.
Oh.
Had to like contact all these lawyers and immigration agents. and
That's
stuff
right.
Like that.
Yeah, I do remember this story. Yep.
Yep. And because at that point we had booked Warped Tour.
Yeah.
The last one, I was like, I
Oh.
gotta do this.
Yeah.
So, yep, got sent back. Everything, like, I wasn't allowed into the US, basically. Big red flag against my name. So it was
Shit.
like, yeah. So, got that sorted, though. Down to the wire, I think. Went down to Sydney, did my visa interview.
Yeah.
Got my passport mailed back to me on the Friday. My flight was on Monday morning. Like, just
Hectic.
pulling my hair out. Really like, oh, my God.
Gnarly.
But you had to get a letter sent from someone as like a support.
Oh, I had to get, like, letters from a ton of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people were just pulling strings left, right, and center for me. Like I had Travis, so I've got this, framed it somewhere in my apartment right now. Where it's just
This
like
is 100% what I was trying to get towards.
yeah,
This.
a letter of recommendation, just like saying I know him, like
Yeah.
I know of his professional abilities or whatever, and
Yeah.
I feel like he'd be an asset to the United States, like
Yeah.
Wow.
entertainment industry, basically, with his
Yeah.
little signature.
That's so sick.
So, like,
what a piece of memorabilia to
I know.
have.
Yeah.
So like you always see Travis's like autograph and stuff like that.
But when
And-
it's something like that,
But I have this one, and it's like his.
A personal
It's just-
character reference.
I mean, and it's not like the one that you see. It's Travis Barker written
Oh,
out. Yeah.
like his legal one.
Yeah, so-
yeah, wow.
So I remember I posted a picture and I made sure to cover that up. 'cause
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want posting that all over the
Forging
internet. Can you
bank
imagine?
checks.
Yeah.
Hectic.
Wow.
So yeah, down to the wire. You did Warp Tour, which was that the year that was the last one ever.
Last full cross country one, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right.
That was just a party, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I should have come back like 5 kg lighter, like everything. But it was just the band we were touring with. We shared a bus,
Yep.
Yeah.
and so every band just gets like a 30 case of beers show up to their door
Yeah.
every day, and like that's your rider for the day or whatever, like
Yeah.
plus food and everything like that. But the band we were touring with, they went straight edge for like the whole tour.
Perfect.
So they weren't drinking. So we just every time we go back to the bus, it'd just be like 60 cans of beer
Yeah.
Sick.
waiting.
Wow.
So the good thing about like you never knew when your set was gonna be. You could be last or you could be like first up.
Yeah.
Oh,
You-
okay.
you
You,
just
only
gotta
know,
be
you find
ready.
out on the day.
Yeah, that morning you find out.
That's such a what? Does the crowd know in advance though? The time slots?
No, they get the schedule at the gate.
Yep.
Mm.
So we find out.
Is
'Cause,
that
yeah, it's
to get
different. Like,
every-
you know, Soundwave, how that it'd be printed well in advance and whatnot. So
Yeah.
Warped in the US, they have in the entry to the festival, there's like these big,
Yeah.
like billboard type
Well,
things,
yeah,
and
I
all the
remember that,
bands are like sticky tape to it,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
gaffer tape to it, and so that's how you know the time slot.
Right.
Kevin Lyman would do up the set list and
Yeah.
the morning of.
Wow. See, that is the incentive to get everyone there early, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah,
So you don't miss anything.
yeah,
But the funny thing was, he used to like when everyone's like having their barbecues and parties after like a show, he would like cruise around like the bus area and stuff like that and see who's like the drunkest. He's like, cool,
You're on.
you're playing
number
at 11
one.
a.m.
That's such a good stitch up.
And it happened to us once, and it just happened to be not feeling too good that day.
Yeah.
In Salt Lake City, and I think it was about 35 degrees or something like that.
Yeah.
It was just, oh god, here we go.
Mm,
But once we got that set through, sweated it all out, and I was just like, cool,
yeah,
back on it.
yeah.
Were you playing to some big crowds?
Some were like pretty small, and some were halfway decent, man. Like,
Yeah.
we did mainly over the East Coast. We got like crazy reception, like
Yeah.
New York, Boston, Connecticut, and stuff like that. Felt like there was a good 400,
Yeah.
300 to 400 people like right in front of us,
Is
and it looked massive. Like
Yeah.
as soon as like it'd be going out to the crowd or whatever.
Yeah, because they're very different. All of the like legs of the festival.
Yeah,
So like Pomona is typically always the biggest, which is in California. So that one's like you see a lot of photos of that of like the bigger crowds and the bigger stages and
Yeah.
whatnot. Vegas is like one of the smaller ones, but it's always kind of a crazier one. And then it depends like what time of day you're playing, what stage you're playing on.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like Warped has been such an institution of like the, punk and heavy metal scene that, people go year after year in
Yeah.
the same location, be like, they always go to that stage because that's their style of music that always
Yeah.
gets played.
Yeah, makes sense.
But yeah, like what you were saying with like the different lineups and stuff, like I went to one in Vegas where it was like 50 something degrees that day. It was insanely hot, and like Falling in Reverse were on that tour. And you'd think they'd be one later in the day, higher up on the bill, that sort of thing. And they were playing like second
Yeah.
off opening, So
Yeah.
obviously they must have been one of the drunker ones the night
Probably,
before, and
man.
Kevin was
Yeah.
punishing them. But
Yeah.
yeah, and so like some are really quite small, the legs of the festival. So you might only have like 100 people on your stage or whatever. Like
or less.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
we played one in Florida, and I swear there was about 4 people.
yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because
One for the ego.
Yeah.
yeah, like I remember every time I die, we're playing one of the smaller stages, and they're a really popular band.
Yeah.
But in Vegas, like they might have had like 120 people.
Yeah.
But then the main stage was only 300 people.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know. So
I mean, if you love the band and you're frothing, because it's like, I get
it
to
doesn't
see
matter
it.
anyway.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And just like, I'll probably most likely interact with this band this time.
Yeah, fully.
But yeah.
Meanwhile, on stage, you're like, this is demoralizing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I know Travis Barker personally.
Yeah. Yeah. So, all right. Well, after that, what was the transition from, so that was Makeout's last part, I guess?
I mean, essentially, but not really. So,
Yeah.
I mean, like we did a couple of tours after that.
Yeah.
Like in the US, that's when I was like leaving Philly and
Yeah.
stuck on the ice on the road and
Yeah.
ran into a news crew at the gas station.
Yeah.
They just asked me about how it is on the road. I'm like, I have no idea. I'm the passenger.
Icy.
It's cold.
It's cold.
Oh yeah, not much. But yeah,
And then, so things started to fizzle out there, start of 2019.
yeah.
And Sam left the band. So we're like, what's...
That's right. You did the auditions for the new singer.
Yeah. And they're like, what's going to happen now? And then I reached out to John. I was just like, anything coming up, like,
Yeah.
give me a shout. You know, I'm down to basically
Yeah, come over.
jump in and do whatever I can.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until Goldfinger was doing their Australian tour. And he calls me. He goes, you coming to the show? This was also the day of. You don't, like, very last minute.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Coming to the show. I was like, yeah, cool. He's like, how many people? I was like, me and my brother.
Yeah.
So we went along. And then they played the set. We got down. He's sitting there. He sits there like this. Just legs full sweaty, rubbing his hand. Just going, so, got this new band. I was like, cool. Tell me about it.
Yeah.
And basically that's when I first had the demos for what would be 5 North, which is now transitioned back to Tyler Posey. So just solo artist, I guess.
Yeah.
It made like, so if no one knows Tyler Posey, he played the lead role in an MTV show called Teen Wolf.
Right.
So
Yeah.
been acting all his life, but
Yeah.
loves music, grew up the same as us, just loving like Blink and skating and everything. And then, linked me up with him. He was coming over for a Comic-Con, so we sort of scheduled up a little bit of a jam session just to hang out.
Yeah.
He goes back home, and then he calls me like a week later, and he's like, yeah, love for you to be a part of this. Like,
That's awesome.
so like, we're recording, I think, in like 3 weeks' time. Like, can you be here then? I'm like, absolutely.
Mm.
So
Let's
straight
go.
away, you're on
Sick.
you're on the phone to Travis saying, "Get the spare bed ready, brother." But yeah, no, that's such a good. And that Mess was the first track you released.
This mess.
This mess, yeah, that was the first one.
Belter.
Mm.
That's such a catchy song.
Cracker song.
It was stuck in my head this morning.
Yes, so fun.
So it started out as 5 North, and now it's basically the same dudes, but it's like essentially focused around Tyler, but the same band with him.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we just did it was February last year, just before COVID just completely crippled the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just played a show with Cut You Up.
Oh,
we're the band that was on-
yeah.
Riding in vans with boys on the Blink-182 Green Day tour.
Yeah.
So they were playing this like comeback show in San Diego, and they wanted us on it. We was like, cool, I'll be there.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So we did that, and then we had these plans. We were like about to play a couple of big shows with Goldfinger. I think they were like talking about getting us on one of the Used tour that was happening in April, May of like the US tour and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's looking like a really, really good year. And then obviously I got home.
Yep.
I was scheduled to fly back to the US like 3 weeks after that. So I come home for like 3 weeks. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Pricey.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Sick.
And then probably about 3 days from my flight, that's when
Shit at the fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
everything just got cancelled. Outgoing flights got cancelled.
Yeah.
Lockdown started. It was just like,
So it wasn't long because Kurt and I were over in America in November 2019. So it must have been just shortly after that because you had plans back then as to what was next.
yeah, that's right. Because
Yeah, when we ran into each
caught
other.
up then. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's just like what a downturn of events, just like that,
Yeah.
just like that.
So you haven't been back to the US since. That was
Nope.
That was it.
I remember like I was trying to catch up with my friends and stuff like that, and I'm like, I'm running out of time. Like,
yeah,
I'm back in 3 weeks. Let's just catch up then.
Yeah. Wow.
Fast forward.
Shit. So, all right. So you got stuck back here, and I know a lot of stuff got cancelled in the US as well, but there is a tour that's like Tyler Posey and what is it, Girlfriends?
Girlfriend. So Travis Mills and Nick Gross, they started the band together.
Yeah.
It's that new style, like poppy, pop punk.
Sort of like Machine Gun Kelly.
Yeah,
what
exactly.
he's doing with Ian Dior.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I love that stuff.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I was fully on board.
Yeah.
And Mod Son,
Mod Son, that's
So-
right. Yeah.
he's been rapping for what, 12 years, and he's
Yeah.
finally like getting into his rock phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. I mean, like he was a rocket kid
Yeah,
from
yeah.
before the rap, but
Yeah.
everyone just thinks that these people are just like changing lanes to
Yeah.
like, bite on the style. Like,
Yeah.
this dude's like Machine
It's
Gun
actually
Kelly.
been his influence forever.
Well, even
Machine
like
Gun Kelly used to be on TV wearing blank shirts. And
yeah,
Yeah.
Post Malone. It's like he became this huge rapper. It's like just look at him. He's into metal.
Metal and country,
Yeah, yeah. Right. So that tour is still going ahead, but you posted the other day that like you're not going to be able to do it.
Yeah, so again, visa issues.
Yeah.
Visa.
Yeah.
Right. So it's
So
not even.
that one moment back in Canada is still coming back to bite me now. So over and over
Wow.
again.
So this isn't even COVID related now. It's
I mean,
literally being able to attain a
It's
visa.
a little bit of both.
Right.
I was just like getting my visa renewal, but because it's like they require so much info for the visa I'm on,
Yeah.
like all the letters and stuff like that, like we needed those to just secure my visa.
Yeah.
So we had to do that part again, like a few more letters, a few more recommendations, all this info. It's like, what's your schedule for the next 3 years? I'm like, no one knows.
Yeah. Nobody
Yeah.
knows what's happening 3 weeks from now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, well, we need something to submit to US immigration for them to approve this. I was like, God damn. So like, I made it happen from my end, but it was just like passing all these documents,
Yeah.
from my lawyer to me, to one person, to another person, to another person, to Big Noise, the labels like lawyers,
Yeah.
and coming back.
Oh, so just
And
a long
That
process.
Yeah.
it was just taking weeks and
Yeah.
weeks and weeks, shaving it off the time. By that point, it was just like, it's going to be way too close.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good to know that they're willing to go to this effort though to still get you over there to be the drummer.
And that's Tyler. That's all on Tyler.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who else gives a shit, but he's
Yeah.
like,
He's really pushing.
I want you here.
Yeah.
What a
right.
legend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the man. So
Is he just going to have someone fill in this time around?
So
for
yeah,
this
I'm
tour?
good. So I texted my buddy like as soon as we found out about the tour. I was like, "Be ready," I guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and this was about 2.5 months ago, I think.
Right.
Yeah, it's
So
good
it's
if you
like-
can still keep it in the circle.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
so it's like someone you know that will trust to help you out when the time is ready to for
Yeah.
you to go back.
And like this kid, I always get him to come over and hang out when I was staying at Tyler's place, and so he became friends with Tyler as well. So it's just like, cool, the perfect like fill in basically.
Yeah.
We're already friends. They're already friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sick.
So he's taken over for me. It's gonna be heartbreaking just like to see the first
Yeah.
first show go ahead.
Yeah.
Don't have too much fun.
Yeah. I'm like, look
Yeah.
crap.
But so you haven't actually been knocked back for a visa. It's just that it's taking too long and
It's
it hasn't been approved in
It's
time.
taken too long to get their approval, and then like COVID just making things 10 times harder.
Sure.
Mm.
So they can't go to Sydney for an interview. So there's a different process that they're having to go through to
Yeah.
get that approved.
Right.
And then by that time, then you also got to apply for your exemption.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then just, hurdle after hurdle. And then obviously you got to pay for your quarantine when you come home. I was prepared to do it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah, you would be.
Yeah.
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 I'm like,
Like
I'll
anyone
pay
with
it.
that opportunity, able to chase their dreams, like
Yeah.
you find a way to make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then COVID kicked up here again, and it was kind of like, well, they halved the flights or whatever, like
Yeah.
the capacity. So it's just like, God damn.
Shit.
The mission is, I think, once you're because it seems like the world's gone back to normal over there.
Feels like it.
Like
Yeah.
they're all these big, huge concerts that are going on. It's like, okay,
Yeah,
so we just got to get you there.
basically.
Yeah, that's the mission. Have we looked at boats that will make it there? Is there alternatives?
Both, yeah.
We need to do this
Something.
illegally.
So
I'm guessing.
you're still on that process though to obtain the visa, and so are you going for just a working visa, or is it like one of those extraordinary person?
That's exactly what it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right. So there's still hope on the horizon.
Yeah,
'cause
there is. And it's
You still
just-
got Tyler in your corner who wants you to
Yep.
to be involved. The visa's going through. You got the right support. It's just time and the world
basically.
hopefully
So,
aligning.
like, a lot of pressure and relief did come off me. Like, once we decided I wasn't going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at least you know.
Stressing so much, man.
Yeah.
I wasn't sleeping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, so once we decided, I was kind of just like,
yeah.
all right, we've got time to just figure it out now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, you've been doing jump videos again.
Yeah, so, I mean, I actually had like a long time off drums because I had dislocated my shoulder and then I broke my arm twice in that period.
That's
so
helpful.
for a good 9 months, I was like, my arm was just not
Yeah.
in working order.
Yeah.
And now I'm back behind the kit. And
Yeah, it's sick.
feeling good about it. So
Sick.
Yeah, all these duo drum videos that we're seeing. So you did one with
yeah.
Dan a few months ago now, I think it was.
I did one with Dan
Dan Kirby.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
in 2019 when I went down to Melbourne.
Yeah.
And that's when I first met Tyler, actually.
Okay.
So
Oh, wow.
as I went down to link up with him, I sort of like hit Dan up. I'm like, let's do this video we've been talking about for the last,
Yeah.
6 months, but we haven't been able to do.
Yeah.
So we did that. And then that gave us the idea for like another friend of mine up here,
Yeah.
Luke Gallows.
Yes.
Yeah, you know Luke?
Yeah, I used to live
Yeah.
with Luke, and
Yeah,
I was
okay.
in Line Break and Remnants with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So She Cries Wolf now is the band he's in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we always want to do this like one Blink song.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
let's
sick.
get together and do it. And went through, we did the video, and I think I went to a Broncos game the night before. I was just not feeling
Bit
good.
dusty.
And like we posted the video, man, I was honestly like halfway through the song, we did about 10 solid takes each.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And going hard the entire time. And I'm
Yeah.
just like halfway through the song, I'm like, I can just feel it. I'm going to throw up. Like
Oh,
something's going
no.
to happen. And you can just see like the physical pain on my face like halfway through that video. And I'm like, perfect. But
Amazing.
Nah, I love this whole... Because the thing about duo drum videos is that it's not right, I would say. Guitarists play in a band together, but
Yeah.
drummers never get to, so it's
What do
just
you
like...
need two drums? This is
Yeah.
for.
But it is cool to see that sort of stuff, and I love seeing it. And it's good content. And the thing is that it's hard enough to find one drummer, but to find two, it's
Yeah.
just like, you're kidding.
Yeah.
Imagine if you did one with Travis one day.
ah,
It's going to happen.
I'd
Like,
quit.
it's just going to happen. That's the thing.
I'd finish it and put down the 6 man.
See,
That's it.
I'm peaked.
Yeah.
but there is no peak, I think, for you. Same with Dan Kirby. It's just like he's just one thing leads to another.
Yeah.
It's the networking that you both seem to do. And then, because Dan did this video, like how he's just made his up, I guess, the chain, joined Bliss and SO. And then from there, he's done that video with that
Masked Wolf.
Master Wolf.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's just
Yeah.
shit. And he's on like the Jimmy Kimmel show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I'm just like, how?
But they obviously filmed that in Melbourne in a studio, but it
Yeah.
was so cool, like
Yeah.
the setup that they had, and it was so well done. But like that dude blew the fuck up off that song as well.
Yeah.
And here's Dan just in the background.
Yeah,
like,
just smashing it.
it's sick.
And the thing is, like, I was talking to Dan, I'm like, it's not going to, like, it will not surprise me one day if you're, like, drumming for Machine Gun or something when he comes to Australia. He's like, oh, yeah, well, my mate does. I'm just like, of course he
Yeah,
does.
Tosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this kid. I met him like on one of the, like at a makeout show or somewhere.
Yeah.
Like he hit me up. He's like, "Oh, can I come along? I can bring my sister, my little sister." I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." Like threw him on, and meanwhile, this dude's like 17,
Yeah.
young as hell, and it just like posts drum videos all day, every day. That's all he does,
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
and just blew up recently, and then got called up for MGK when his drummer got hit by a car or something.
Yeah.
Broke his leg.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so he did those shows with MGK, and then he's like the full-time drummer for Travis's new prodigy, this kid called Jaden.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
And it all starts from just doing these little cover videos.
yeah,
And they just lead to this. It's
Wow.
huge.
So is it like Travis and John are like very much on the pulse and like trying to find all these new young stars to develop and bring up, or bands? Is that kind of their shtick now?
I mean,
to
John,
give back.
John's always been like that.
Yeah, right.
So ever since the U's first album, is kind of like, yeah, I'm start making bands.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And that's exactly what he did. And
Yeah.
then Travis is sort of, he's moved on to that now too. Just
Yeah.
like find a new talent, man. He's got, like, what do you do when you have that much success and time?
Yeah.
Mm.
Give back.
You just start making music,
Yeah,
and that's all he does. Like studio till 3 a.m. or
Yeah.
whatever.
wild.
Just there.
So,
Like
and
that's
owning
the passion.
one
man.
of LA's most popular vegan restaurants as well.
Oh yeah, delicious. Also,
Sort of thing. I know we keep going back to the whole Blink talk, Travis talk, etc.
How can you not?
I know. Sorry, we love making it about you too, but it's because I found out that he got on a plane the other day from Tennille, because Tennille's a big Kardashians fan.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
Now this is something that I'm like, I hope he's not looking too much at his phone right now, because everyone's excited. Like,
yeah.
Travis is back on a plane. It's just like straight away they're booking Blink tours. No, they're not. But the thing is, like, with all the headlines, is like Travis is back on plane after plane crash, like from all these years. It's like way to remind him straight away.
He's not seeing any of that.
I know.
Also, you know, there's been a lot of things getting around the internet about a plane where people are just falling off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
yeah, for
heck.
sure. Yeah.
Not a good time to be
Yeah.
flying again.
Yeah, definitely. That's so gnarly. Yeah, because I remember that was like a massive blow up. That Blink were announced for Soundwave, and it was after they just reunited. Like Tom and Mark had buried the hatchet, and Travis was back involved in it. But the US tours, he could take a bus and do all that kind of gear. And then it was announced they were coming for Soundwave. Everybody was pumped, and then he obviously said, "I can't do the plane thing. I won't be involved in it." And like people were just shattered, which I get. Like it's like he's iconic. He's part of that trio and whatnot. But I was really excited because like Brooks from Bad Religion then got the job, and I fucking love that dude. And I think he's an amazing drummer. So like I was stoked while everybody else was bummed out. But I don't know. I'd seen Blink with Travis before in the States and in Australia, so that was me. But I don't know. Maybe there is some hope.
Time?
Hey,
Where'd you see him play with?
Big day out.
no, they came on the Enema of the State release.
Well,
They
actually,
did tour like way back in the day, and then I was in Vegas and I was staying at Planet Hollywood.
Yeah.
And they did 2 nights at the Cosmopolitan, but they played the pool area, and my room looked across Las Vegas Boulevard onto it. So like I found out that it was going on, tried to get tickets. It had been sold out like a year in advance. So I just opened the window and got a free Blink 182 show because it was across the street right there.
Wow.
So yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, Travis is back on a plane. I remember, like, he did, during that whole 2017 bit, he's like, we finished writing in the studios. Want to come over for dinner?
Yeah.
The
Huge.
drummer was like, do you want to go to this place for dinner? I'm like, I guess so if we have to.
If that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rock up to Travis's place, which is down the street from Courtney's place.
Yeah.
Like, they've been hanging out for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then, just had dinner at Travis's place, and he was like a geek, man. Like, walking me around the house, showing me all of the drum kits he had. He's like, oh, yes, I've got this, like, cool electric one in here, like, drum in there, drum there. It's like, I keep this kit over here, and it's like, check this one out. And I was just like, he's just a drum nerd, man.
Wow.
He loves
So
it.
sick. Yeah. And they want people to come over and talk with the stuff that they're into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does he get like when you were chilling, like hanging around with him? Were you in public with him much? Like, does he get noticed and hassled all the time? Or?
No, never in public.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay.
See, that's
I assume he would.
Yeah, I'd start getting to that stage. Like the thing is, every time that they're out together now, it's just photos straight away.
Especially being involved with the Kardashian, man.
Yeah.
Oh,
See, this is the thing I told Tennille is that
instant highlight.
I know this. I don't watch the show. I don't care about the show. But they're finishing up. They finished up their last season of it.
Yeah.
I'm like, typical. The first time I would probably start watching it is now if they film one more season.
He probably doesn't even feature in it.
Yeah, true.
I think he has been in a couple episodes.
Oh, really?
Though, yeah.
Oh, wild.
I remember this from like a couple of years ago. So
Yeah, right.
Oh, there you go.
Damn, dude.
Inside scoop.
So, like, what's the plan for you at the moment? Is just trying to get this visa thing secured, and then you'll be back over.
yeah, so got a little bit of time to play with now, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
And Tyler's on it. He's like, once this tour is done, we can concentrate on like making it happen properly.
Yeah.
And no hiccups from there. Like I submitted a schedule for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't actually know if that's going to be the schedule, but it's there.
Yeah.
So if I get my visa, I'm good for 3 years.
Sick.
And then
That's enough time to earn some money and buy a house there.
yeah, hopefully.
Are you like doing anything locally with anyone, or have any intentions? You know, like just to muck around.
I always thought about it. Getting hurt last year sort of was a big downer.
Yeah.
It wasn't good, man. So, always thought about the idea. I've always tuned in and did some like drum session stuff for people if they needed, and that was cool. I'm actually like filling in with my brother's band next weekend.
Yeah, sick.
Oh, open season.
Yeah,
Yeah, sick.
just playing country jams
Hell yeah.
for 2 hours. A 2 hour set. I'm like, how am I gonna remember this?
That's nuts, man. They've been doing a lot of shows.
Yeah,
That's cool.
so that's sick.
I
It's
love
gonna
the
be
name
fun.
of that name. Open season. I think that's such a cool name.
Yeah, it definitely suits.
Yeah. All right. Well, so 50 minutes, far out. Good on you. You've done well. Have you touched your water yet? Have a sip.
Yeah, mouth is that dry.
Yeah, so when we have guests, we'd like to do a bit of show and tell. Mm-hmm. And we video these things now because otherwise it's just called tell.
Well, now it is going to be tell because that's probably run out of battery or turned off. So
It's all good.
we'll post a photo of it.
Yeah, after. So what do you got here?
What's your tell?
Mate, my tell is this book. The Hamish and Andy podcast presents Power Moves.
Unreal segment. Unreal.
So do you listen at all?
Not the podcast.
Mate, you gotta.
Well,
Yeah.
So-
I feel like I'm going to be sold on it now.
It's hilarious.
Yeah. So it's a whole segment that they did dedicated to basically like one-upping people.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, like I can't even think of a good example right now. They'll
we-
be in the book, obviously.
I got a book full of them.
Yeah, but it's pulling a power move on people, one-upping them.
I was gonna try and go through and pick out my favorite one, but that's too hard.
Yeah.
Right.
I feel like we just need to turn to a random page.
Yeah.
Yeah, for examples. I'm already interested.
Oh, okay, yep. So this one is number 80. It's called A Small Surprise. When you're meeting someone for the first time who you've been told about, simply say to them, "Oh, I thought you'd be taller."
Yeah.
Immediately just like puts them down to like a lower level.
Yeah.
It's like, oh,
Yeah. It's just establishing dominance straight away. It's a whole bunch of stuff like that.
mate, it's great.
There's some hilarious ones, eh? And people get really creative and like savage too.
What's this one? No, I don't, some of them like don't hit that hard. Okay. If you're at a restaurant, pretend you've forgotten your reading glasses and get someone at the table to read out the menu like they're your butler.
Unreal.
Anyway, that's my show and tell. It's a great book.
Power Moves by Hamish and Andy.
Yeah.
And you can't get it anymore, so
Yeah, because they do their podcast now,
Yeah.
the Hamish and Andy podcast, and they still do the power moves segment,
Oh,
and it's
okay.
fucking hilarious.
yeah. So they did like the first 100 that made it to the book.
Yeah.
They did like a limited edition book.
Mm.
Sell that one. I think they did a reissue.
Oh,
but
yeah.
that was it.
Yeah,
And now,
wow.
now they're doing like volume 2, so it's just gonna be like a reoccurring thing.
That's so smart.
That's so good.
It's like the Guinness Book of Records.
Yeah.
You can always add to it.
True.
There's, I think, one
And
more.
people are giving them the content too. They don't
Yeah.
even have to come up with it themselves.
Yeah.
My favorite one that I used to use on my friends is like when we go out somewhere and like order drinks or
Yeah.
dinner, and they'd be ordering and be like, "Why are you using a deeper voice?"
Oh. Why do you change your voice when you
Yeah.
talk to people like that? Classic. You got a power move? Do you do power moves to anyone?
They usually say when you go to shake someone's hand and you do the two hands.
Oh, yeah.
That shows
Yeah,
dominance.
that's big dogging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I've never. I don't know. Why? Have you got one?
No, I'm trying to think of, like, if I ever pulled a power move in the band, like, you know, with lending gear or something. There's got to be one, but it's escaping me now.
You got one? A go to?
Not really.
Probably just that one.
Need to read the book.
You need to read the book.
All right. Well, thanks, mate. It's been real. It's been good to hear some stories, and I can't wait to see what happens next. So, your advice for anyone who's not playing as usual as they'd like to right now, for a drummer or just any musician that wants to get their name out there, what do they do?
Videos.
Videos.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I've been lacking on it myself, but videos.
Because that's what got you noticed in the first place was you putting up those covers and
Putting
whatnot.
up videos, yeah.
Yeah.
And now Instagram is the place for it, man. You got Reels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
TikTok's a thing. I'm not really much into that. I probably should try and utilize it, but
I don't
Yeah.
know. TikTok's a funny place.
man.
It's
But-
like, I don't know, you got to be 15 to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a place for visual memes, I think.
Yeah.
True.
Video form. But
Yeah.
yeah, videos, Instagram,
Just putting yourself out there.
pretty much it.
Yeah.
It doesn't cost anything to do. It's just time.
Costs a Wi-Fi connection.
What?
Costs you
Wi-Fi.
data.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't be ridiculous.
Ask.
Everything costs
It's
something.
minimal.
All right. Sorry.
Just get a $6,000 drum kit and good to
Yeah.
go.
Yep.
That's it.
And
Yeah.
$10,000
$4,000
camera.
camera. Yep. Sweet.
Gnarly.
I had that full vision when I bought this whole like setup and stuff in my room. I was like, I want to be recording music, doing videos, and all of this. Done it like 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
It's a lot of work, man.
Yeah,
it is.
A lot of work. It
When you're an
requires a lot
adult.
of discipline as well.
yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
when you have a
I gotta cook dinner.
proper job.
I gotta
Yeah.
buy groceries. I got shit to do.
When I bought Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 again, I had full intentions I was going to play that every day for a week.
Yeah.
I think I played it like 3 times.
Yeah, that's it. Same.
I got to
So
like
I'm-
I got to like the school level, finished that, and I was like, oh,
Yeah.
I guess I'm done.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, to me, the school level's the best level anyway.
Yeah.
Like once you've done that, it's like, okay, I've done that. I waited for like a year for this to come out. Finally came out, played it for a minute.
It was funny. Like I played it and I was like, oh, like these graphics aren't that unreal. It must be pretty close to the original. And then like you don't realize how far graphics have come
man.
because then I YouTubed the original Tony Hawk's one on PlayStation.
blocks.
It is dog shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it is definitely a massive, massive step up.
It felt like we were playing the original
Yeah.
Yeah.
because we're so used to just like
Yeah, it
things are
was
just
like
fast forwarded.
the nostalgia of it and like the soundtrack being the same and whatnot. But then it was just like, yeah, no, it definitely always looked like
That was
this.
the best
It did
part.
not.
Yeah, they need to simplify a few levels in games for that because when we were a kid, like Crash Bandicoot, when that did a remaster, you had all the time in the world to play it and beat it. Mm-hmm. If I don't beat it the first time, I've got no time to play it again.
Yep.
It's like that shouldn't have been that hard. Like literally, I got to go cook dinner or something.
Yep.
Anyway, but thanks again, mate. Keep
worries.
up the content. We love it. Everyone loves following off the story of Scott Eckel.
Can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah. See if there's a new chapter.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
All good things. The universe will provide. It's going to
And
happen.
As a guest, you get to push the orange button top right.
That one.
That one.